Hello, hello, everyone. It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies of Your View. Hello. Hi, Mariam. I love the orange.
You love it.
It's beautiful. You're glowing.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. I'm doing fine. So I'm sure you saw my social media when Accessories to Die For sent me. Look at that. So beautiful. Valentine's gift.
Are you for real?
Okay, that's good.
Chauffeur driven and
Are you serious?
Let me see the earrings.
dramatic.
It was really nice. I love your kind of thing.
Yeah, very nice. And thank you. But I want to
Accessories to Die For.
Yeah.
Ah.
You guys should check them out.
That's Ada's mom. And I know her daughter.
Okay.
Went to school in Corona together.
Yeah. She sent also a very sweet note. Like, oh, so nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's
but
a good way to keep customers. I practice it.
But let me talk about Lekki Conservation Center.
Yes, I saw the pictures.
Yes. See, and they're huge fans. They felt like Michael Jackson. I mean, they know us, they know our husbands. I'm sure they're watching right now. So, you know, they're doing, you guys know how I feel about healthy living.
Yeah.
And it's good to take it beyond just eating right. Also our environment. I just went there. I'd been there like a couple of times. And it's always nice when I go there, that serene, lovely environment. And you can get memberships. And they're quite affordable.
Do you know,
family memberships.
So what do you do there when you get the memberships?
Yeah, so the place, it's like, you know, nature.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just your kids can
I love
go
to
there.
take the
I
kids.
like
My
that. You see this thing about taking our kids to the malls. It's fine, but it's also good to take them to places like this. And then they work closely with schools. They're opening like conservation clubs in schools.
Oh, wow.
There's so many schools that go to visit, so kids know about plants, about
Like I want to tell my
animals.
story. My children,
I mean,
when I was in primary school, I was taken there as a primary school person.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
they took my school. My school took us for excursion, and that's the last time I've been there.
Oh,
like I've only been there when I went as a child. Less
have
than
like
I went there
jungle.
when my daughter was little, but that was it. But
no,
now
we
they're
need
all
to-
grown.
We need to can like have like a
and we
picnic
have a
there.
horse because my son has been shouting, I want a horse, I
No,
want a
there's no
horse.
horse
They
there.
have like
plan to be there. Let's
boardwalks, they
plan.
have
So
like
we'll come
a
and
jungle
we'll come and
theme.
visit.
We'll
Yeah,
come,
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
plan it together.
And I want to come so that I can talk to Nigerians about keeping
No problem.
understanding their
Yeah,
environment. and
fantastic.
keeping-
Amazing.
Interestingly, I heard the last park, Lagos State Parks, are actually having some kind of collaboration with an international company called The Roots of My Roots in Nigeria. They're bringing African Americans back to Nigeria to actually plant trees. So the last park, I think we'll be bringing her on very soon at some point. So come and tell us about it. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Today is my younger brother's birthday. Okay, EJ, Henry J. I call him CJ. He looks like me.
Yes,
We're
so-
the closest, you know him now.
Yes.
We're the closest in the house. I wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
May
CJ.
God grant you all of your heart desires.
Amen.
And he's my naughty brother. He can worry me. And he's watching this one. I'm telling everybody now that
birthday.
he
Happy
worry
birthday,
me.
CJ.
Happy
Birthday,
CJ.
How you doing, Tokwe?
I'm good, grateful to God, excited about His blessings, and I'm looking forward to Harvesters have a program this weekend on Saturday. And
Harvester
they're
International Christian Center?
Yes, they're having Herbert Wigwe, they're having Michelle Elegbe. Immediately I saw those two headliners, I'm like, whatever I'm doing Saturday, cancelled. I'm going to be there. I'm enjoying. I don't usually go to other churches' programs because I feel like my church has enough for you to do. But I just feel like step out a bit and listen to other people, especially entrepreneurs that are at that level. You need to hear what their story is. I hope they are more open because some people, they just come and say, God did it for me. No, please say the details of the story. I'm looking forward to that.
What time do you have to cook for Mr. Mark? Because I'm campaigning
Yesterday,
for
I
him.
actually cooked yesterday, and I was telling myself that for the past 1 week, I've been eating junk food when I have a kitchen.
I don't like that question she asked you. If Mr. Mark was going on training, will you tell him what time does he have to cook for
No,
Mrs.
she
Mark?
just came
I don't
back.
like it.
well,
No,
you know what this is
I'm a life coach here. I have to support my people.
We are like
I agree with you.
Yes.
She traveled to America. I actually said,
She has
when
asked
are
me.
you coming back?
Yeah, I
This
don't
is why I
understand.
gallivant
There are
around the
children,
world.
there's
You have
husband.
children, you have
You
husband.
have
What's
to be
going on?
careful.
There's all these
Can't you,
balance,
don't you
yeah.
balance it?
We
Can't you
find
do all
balance,
everything?
yeah.
Just as
Actually, if you had
I'm
asked me
just
yesterday,
cooking.
I would have said I'll work on it, but
You've already
yesterday
sorted
evening I
it.
sorted everybody.
That's fine.
Everybody.
Anyway, as I expected.
talking about something else, last night we had pounded yam and egusi.
That's
Hey,
good.
babe.
Who made it?
I'm saying, listen, man. My help just said, I'm vegunyo. And I'm thinking, vegunyo bao. She actually gunyoned. It was fantastic. And it was really nice. I mean, we sat down like we're in a restaurant, like with the egusi soup and the obiata, with the egusi and with the egufe.
It's dinner.
I ate dinner. Yes, I ate it.
I thought when one health.
No, I'm looking at, you can see the daggers. I'm looking at Auntie.
Don't worry, in March, you register for March. You go see
Honestly, oh
Oh,
You
God.
were so good. I actually had to call. It was so good. I don't know why I didn't call you. I had to call. I started finding you. Please.
You guys go help me.
I took it to my friend's house. I think they had dinner, so it was really, really nice. Well done, I said thank you for that fantastic meal you gave us last night. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the news. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Right. We'll start with the nation. Supreme Court, our decision final, no matter how anybody feels. North governor said to end almajiri and street begging. Pope to Catholics disconnect from social media TVS at length. Residents relieve tanker fire ordeal on Lagos-Ibadan Road. Tinubu didn't turn down Akeredolu. Coronavirus Chinese quarantined in Lagos. Corporal kills 4 soldiers self in Borno. And Disco's tackle minister over power supply claims. Lots of stories here. Let's start with coronavirus. That's
okay, so there's according to The Nation, they're reporting that a Chinese national that came in from China in January fell ill and was taken to the Reddington Hospital in Ikeja. And they're alleging that he may have coronavirus. But Reddington has come out to state that there's nobody and that he may be self-quarantined, be quarantined because of that. But Reddington has come out, it's in, I think, Daily Trust, to say that there's nothing like that at the Reddington Hospital. There's no one who has the coronavirus in their hospital.
That's what Chinese guys covering their news. I want to take the major headline and the Pope story. So, a major headline, the Supreme Court...
It's everywhere. Let's take the Pope story.
Okay, so the Pope advising Christians or Catholics, saying that in their fasting, during this fasting period, they should stay away, the next 40 days, stay away from social media and TVs during this. And it's time to give up useless words, chatters, rumors, gossip, and talks, and then speak directly to God. That is, and I think that is a big deal because social media tends to distract you from hearing, you know, so...
I want what you're doing on social media anyway.
Well, that's true.
For content
I wanted
providers,
to
they have
take
to do their work.
the story on the Almajiris because the northern governors, many of them, El Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State, have and I think also Nasarawa State, some of them have prescribed Almajiris begging on the streets and saying that parents will be subject to 10 years in jail if they found that they actually sent their kids deliberately. But the Council of Ulama has kicked, saying that you can't just stop begging. That there are different types of beggars. There are those who actually, parents send their kids from rural areas to urban areas. There are those that are handicapped, and there are those that are actually Quranic schools sending these kids. That it's important to know exactly where they stand, speak to them individually first, know why they are begging, before you then generally ban them off.
Children should not be on the streets begging.
But I'm happy that most of the governors, the Kano State, Kaduna State, Nasarawa State, they're all speaking the same language, saying that they can have, that it's their own problem. They identified it's our problem. We have to fix it our way. And first things first, get them off. Let the parents know that it's not business as usual. You can't just send kids out on the street to give it.
Begging themselves.
Moving on now to the Punch. Catholic bishops to government. Failure to arrest culprits show federal government insincerity on killings. Soldier beat up Lagos official for seizing hawkers' wares. Tiamiu's car vandalized in police station, says father. 3 Ekiti teachers arrested for allegedly raping pupils. Troop fighting Boko Haram kills 4 colleagues and injures others. 2019 debt servicing gulp 2.1 trillion, says investigation. Bayelsa Supreme Court refuses to sack Deri, awards 60 million naira costs. Let's start with the human interest story. The Lagos soldiers beating up Lagos.
Yes, so this was the enforcement team of the Ikoyi Victoria Island cleanup committee of the Lagos state government, and they were attacked by military. So what happened was they've been carrying out raids in that area, and they went very close to Bonny Camp, and there's this like where they have all the goods, more like what's it called? A point, yes, where they have all the goods for those who sell on the street. So they went there and they were trying to raid the place when the military officials attacked them and started asking them questions like, why, who gave you the authority to come close to the military to carry out such a raid? And they started beating up the officials. They threatened to destroy the camera. Now, the people who were selling saw that the military were attacking, and they also started hurling stones at the government officials. But the chairman of the committee has said that before they carried out the act, they actually sent a letter to the military telling them that this is what they are coming here to do. I just think they should sort themselves out.
Can I quickly take just the Kaka story? Tell me, remember the boy who was killed, the footballer. So also they said his car, he had a car at the time he was arrested. The car he was driving at the time that he was arrested. And the father said after he had seen his son's body at the mortuary, he asked about the car. And the car was driven from the point where it was parked to the police station. Well and good. But when he went back to see the car, it was, vandalized. Many parts were taken out. So they've been asked, the police have been asked to repair that car and put it back at the police station.
Okay, Vanguard. Insurgency, depressed soldier kills himself. UCH medical consultants down tools over mandatory PhD certificates. No subsidy from federal government since privatization, says Discos. Bielsa, no force on earth can reverse our verdict, says Supreme Court. Okay, let's start with the major headline. They'll take Supreme Court. Yeah.
The soldier.
Yes.
So there are many sides to this story, but the main thing is that this particular soldier took a gun and shot about 7 of his colleagues. 4 of them died, 2 are in hospital, and he also shot himself. People are saying this is PTSD. Of course, a lot of them, they say, suffer this trauma and depression from fighting the war. But I think it was Vanguard that said that he had gotten a story that his wife was involved with someone else, and that got him really upset. And so he turned his gun on his colleagues and himself.
Yeah.
PTSD is real.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Supreme Court verdict.
Okay, it's a major headline in Tribune.
Yeah, so I have the medical story in
UCH.
in Ibadan. Medical consultants in the University College Hospital Ibadan decided to embark on an indefinite strike because they got a circular which said that all of them must have PhD for the clinical lecturers in the Nigerian university. So they've tried to have conversations with the NUC to see how they can resolve this. And they are saying that this is not what is obtainable in the Western world, in other schools and other countries, but the NUC is not responding. So they've decided, they gave them a 21-day ultimatum, which they didn't adhere to. Now they've gone on strike, and they are saying that they are going to withdraw their services from the university.
All right, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. As Supreme Court finally dashes APC's hope in Bielsa, all eyes on Imo. Ahead September poll, security situation in Edo is frightening. Kogi targets 10 billion naira IGR as implementation of Stamp Duty Act begins. Girl stabs boyfriend to death over 3,000 naira in Ogun State. Reddington Hospital denies coronavirus rumor. Amotekun Corps, Supreme Southwest States to pass uniform bill. Yes.
So, major headline in that the Supreme Court has given a final verdict that it shall not, according to its standard, reverse a verdict. And our quote was that with tears in my eyes, I cannot believe that in my lifetime, I will see senior members of the bar bring applications of this nature to this court, which are aimed at desecrating the sanctity of this court. That's from Justice Aigbe saying that they already have a principle, this is what they do, and the particular senior members of the bar, Afe and Afebalola and Olanipekun, were the ones that were representing. This was in the case of the Bielsa governorship election, that the verdict has been given that a new governor be sworn in, and they were going back to change it, that they don't have a precedence of this. What will happen is it will open a floodgate of everybody coming to the Supreme Court to start asking for a reversal, which was what PDP insinuated even just
Let's take our final paper for this one, which is Daily Sun. Chibok under attack, is that story? Black Wednesday. Lagos government seeks solution to truck accident. PDP begins recall of defeated Imo Assembly lawmaker. Effectively. Defected Imo Assembly lawmaker. Which story? Anybody? Any story?
Yeah, so the Chibok story. Yeah. So this particular area is called Bambula community in Chibok. I hope I got that right. The Islamic State of West Africa, ISWAP, the insurgents, attacked that place around 4 a.m. They abducted the head of the civilian joint task force. His name is Mohammed Abba. They said he has been constantly threatened by these insurgents and has been asked to compromise his position for a long time. And this man has stood his ground. And so at 4 a.m., they went into this community and went straight for him. And of course, people were running helter-skelter. So
Let's just breeze through Daily Trust. Land grabbers threaten 2 trillion naira Mambila power project. Nigeria not doing enough to end insecurity, says France.
Yeah.
Reps to investigate banks over alleged illegal charges. Any story there that...
The Mambila project. So now we have a problem at our hands because we have 10,000 communities that are affected by this Mambila project, and they are sitting down and waiting for compensation, which the federal government had marked out 60 billion to compensate them. But the problem now is high-ranking individuals in the society and politicians are going there to buy lands. So they are grabbing the lands, they are getting the COOs of the lands, CFOs, without consulting from the landowners as well, so that by CFO, so that by the time the compensation comes, they will be able to get money from the federal government. We need to tell ourselves the truth. This
House of Reps are
quickly.
looking, through the banking committee, are looking to investigate how much of the illegal charges that have been made on our accounts, personal and public institutions, and their own accounts at the House of Reps with banks.
How convenient.
But so but it's good. That's what we want. Let it affect them so that they'll know what to do, and then we will all enjoy it. So in 4 weeks, they're supposed to get back so that they'll know the legislative action.
On that note, that's all we can take on the front page review. When we come back, we'll discuss with a Teacher of the Year award recipient. She has something she's planning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. The report has it that teachers coming together to share learning strategies and mentor each other can prevent burnout and jumpstart professional growth. Join us on the show is Mrs. Wumitolu Alalade, a Lagos State Best Teacher Award recipient and a British Council Core Skills Ambassador. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you very much, Mariah.
You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so we can read your tweet. So you're a public school teacher that you were Teacher of the Year, and that a lot of people were surprised at how your success in the classroom. Yes. And since then, since your success, you've been able to organize seminars to help teachers. Why did you go into that?
Yes, thank you very much. I decided after getting the award that I was going to impact teachers because I realized that if we can't get to one teacher, we then get to more than one, maybe more than my classroom. Right. You know, if I'm facing just the students or I'm focusing on students in my classroom or in my school, then I won't really get much of the impact I want. So I'd rather, you know, pass the torch on to the teachers in the classroom and let them know that we can actually do this, supporting each other, you know, collaborating and being able to ensure that best practices are something that we can share. We can decide on, you know, solve problems and reason together, bring in experts, other people that have also achieved a lot, not only me, so that we can actually see what we can do to...
So what you're saying is that you're creating a community of
practice, a community of learning, a community of practice where we share and we support each other to improve our pedagogy.
Why is it important to have that community? Because, you know, to have that community, it will take work, I guess. So you're not going from, you have to identify them. What do you use to identify the sort of people you want in your community? And why is it important to have that community?
Actually, the community of practice is made up of teachers in all cadres. I'm a science teacher, but I decided to ensure, after being trained by the British Council on the use of core skills to, you know, to kind of improve our pedagogy. So I decided then and...
Sorry, Auntie. Yes. Pedagogy.
Yes, pedagogy is just like what you do in the classroom, the teaching and learning, the delivery, how you prepare, how you instruct in the classroom. So I decided that, well, I'm going to take this away from the science teachers. I'm going to go as far as reaching out to teachers, or we call it, I tell them we're educators, because, you know, what you call yourself is part of what makes you to stand tall and to be able to deliver. So we are like educators from all cadres, from all sectors. It's not only public school. I'm a public school teacher, but we have teachers in the university, you know, when even lecturers, they're teachers. And they come on when we have face-to-face. We've had one last year. We had another one again. So this is like a big one for us because a lot of people are really interested. They've all registered and we're expecting like well over 480 people.
Wow, that's good.
And it's free. It's free. It's free. It's not a
But you have to register to it.
You have to register to be a part of it.
So what exactly do you do in the seminars that you have?
It's not a seminar.
It's a
training.
training.
That's the difference. It's not a training.
That's the one you do quarterly.
It's a forum.
Yes, it's a forum where you come.
Okay.
People that have achieved, they come and share how they got it done.
Okay.
And then those people that are aspiring or that, you know, many teachers, it's not that they don't want to do, that's what I've discovered. But they don't know how to do it. We need to support each other. We need to let each other know, rather than being an achiever and then hoarding all the tricks, I try to let people know that we should share the tricks. Let everybody be able to use them in their classroom so that we can have an advantage.
So how receptive have people been? Because you get people saying, okay, I want to be part of it, I want to register. Because when we hear public school teachers, we always feel like they are not interested, they are clueless, they have no idea. Could you help us?
People.
No.
They're laid back.
I need to remove my glasses for that. Because even as it is now, I have people calling me every day trying to tell me that they've not registered and they would love to be part of a program. Even 2 days ago, some teachers called me, one group of educators called me from Ogun State, and they said, please, we want to be a part of it. We were not able to register. When I started this in 2018, at a point, I wanted to stop the community. We have a WhatsApp page, you know, a group, and we're max. That was when I realized that we have just 257
slots
allowed on WhatsApp. We moved to Telegram, and people still want to come. And there are occasions I go to speak, because I also speak at events, and people will stand up and they'll start crying and saying, what you have done to us. You know, I won the award because of your impact. You don't know me.
Before you leave this stage, I'd like you to, because there's a perception of how we see public school teachers. I mean, when I hear you speak, I'm thinking, she's a public school teacher. Why do they make it saying as if public school teachers are clueless?
Your group are public school teachers?
Yeah, basically, we have a mix. Public, private, and they listen. I'm a public school teacher, and I speak at forums where we have people from all sectors, and they listen. They listen because they see that this is really the same thing we're trying to do. We're promoting quality education, and I have SDG 1 and SDG 17. The one we're really focused on now is, you know, inculcating partnership. That is what this community of practice is all about. And we just leverage on support of people just to do it.
Okay, so is there anything that you're doing to ensure that the curriculum matches? Because the truth is, by the time you have given this knowledge to the teachers, they go back to the schools, to the same old curriculum, and they find it difficult to implement the skills that you have given to them. Is there any way we could start having the conversation for there to be a change in the curriculum so that what they are learning, they can match with it, and then we'll blow from there?
Good. There was a curriculum mapping, like a seminar in 2016, where we went with British Council. I was one of the speakers. I was speaking for teachers in Nigeria, and we were there telling them how we need to change the curriculum. And I would say recently there are, you know, steps that the government is taking to change that. But because we as educators, we don't have the power to kind of launch and change the curriculum. So you need to learn to do well with whatever you have. So that's what I tell people. I have been in the classroom. I've taught biology, I've taught chemistry, you know. So you can, instead of complaining, why don't I don't prime the problem. Find a way around the problem. That's the idea.
Recently, you know, we have a lot of people talking about education, especially in places like Edo State. People say Lagos State is coming up as well.
Oh, sort of excellent.
Please, okay, so I would like to know, you know, so the narrative is normally public schools are bad, but can you tell me, like, let's say in the last 4-5 years, what do you think has happened with public school education, and how are people receiving it?
Yes, I'll give it to the new Honorable Commissioner for Education, Mrs. Folashade Adefisayo. She's our matriarch, you know, and she's a mentor. And she's also keynoting at the event on Saturday. Oh, wow. She's someone, now that she's there, I'm sure she has taken a lot of strides. Look at the primary sector, because the foundation is the basis. We really have to look at that, because if you don't get it right from the beginning, then what are you building on? So with the way things are now, I'm very positive in the next few years, with the support of the governor, Mr. Governor, Mr. Baba, Sonko. So we'll have
we'd like to bring in the commissioner at some point to talk about these the changes, but I have to let you go. But so the event coming up on Saturday is free for teachers, but is it too late to register? I mean, now that you're saying you already have
it's too late to register, but we're going to do more. We're looking at going to having sales all over the
like
states.
A social media page?
Yes, we're on Facebook.
So I think we'd rather not mention the venue, because if you mention the venue, people will come there and they will not register. So let's not mention.
So they should look out for the next.
They should look out for the next
summit, which will take place in like 4 months' time. We do it once a term, and so you're invited. You can come in. You see the flyer, so you need to register.
We'll get your pages, and we'll talk.
And we need all the support we can get, because this is something. Yes, this is something we're doing. I thank my husband, Dr. Alalade, because without him, I don't know how I'll be able to provide the refreshments. Yes, he's right here. I don't know.
The love men that support. Thank you very much. Absolutely.
So I thank you for this opportunity, and we're looking forward to Saturday.
We support you. We love teachers. I mean,
thank you.
Graduate is here, and she always encourages us on teachers. So we love teachers, and whatever you're doing, let us know. We can always support you the best we can. Let's go on the program. We come back. It's Thursday. We got lots and lots of gist to gist about. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So recently, a story broke out about a man who lost his wife 2 years ago. But is now dating his wife's best friend. While some people are raising eyebrows about this, some are in total support, saying that the woman in question is now dead and the living should go on ahead with life. Actually, I think it was a Kenyan actor it happened to. So we're asking, as a man, is it right to date your wife's best friend after she passes? Call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet on the TVC Connect. Please hashtag YoviTV so we can read your tweet. So in other words, God forbid you pass out or you die or your wife dies. Would you like to date her best friend or marry her best friend? We're asking the men. And to the women, we're saying, if you, God forbid, die, would you mind that your husband, surviving husband, marries your best friend after you've gone? So that's the question. I'd like to start with Tokwe. What's your kind of body language? What's your issue?
You would have said you were torchlighting the husband since.
Oh my God.
Because really, if you had no interest in that relationship before one person passed on, you have no reason going into that marriage. I believe that whenever I hear those kind of stories, I feel like the woman, or in case of the man, had his eyes or our eyes on the spouse. So let's break it down. You husband and wife married, they've been together, they probably had children, and then wife passes on, and the best friend comes and starts consoling the man, and then it leads one thing leads to another, the next thing you are married. There was something in there before, and I feel that
But if you are dead, you do know what to do.
I've heard this story, and they'll say, oh, the friend will be able to genuinely take care of the husband.
Hello?
Don't take care of my husband. Leave him alone. Let him mourn for many years.
That's wickedness.
So you see, for me, I don't think it's a problem at all. I mean, as you said, you're dead, so you are not going to be here arguing back and forth. But the thing is, it's not necessarily about people already having feelings about each other before this sad event occurred. It's that whether we like it or not, relationships develop, relationships evolve, circumstances change, and because of that, relationships change. So she's a best friend to the family, never may have looked at him or he looked at her in that way. But they are bonded over the grief, of the passing of a loved one. And probably the kids are most comfortable with her. Imagine a man who's lost his wife, and in this case, 2 years, I am guessing that it will be hard to just go out and meet total strangers to come to your house and be with your kids. This is the one that they know. I can understand a relationship developing from that sort of circumstance, and I can understand how it would, come about marriage. And for me, I don't think there's a problem. I had this conversation with my husband this morning. He was bringing all sorts of people. Would you mind if I was with this person? I said,
that's even the
I said, I'm gone. My own is, don't marry somebody that will be wicked to my children. As long as the person loves my kids, and I don't care who it is, but don't marry my sister, Sha. That's the one.
But you're gone.
But don't marry my sister.
So the thing, because it's easy when we make it look as if when that happens, but if we put ourselves in that woman's, the dead woman's shoe right now, is there anybody you have in your life? Would you like Tokwe to marry your husband after you're gone?
So the thing is, I had a conversation with my husband recently when I started understanding what death was. And I realized that it's not like we really die. We just move from one energy to the other. And when the person dies and the person is gone, the person really does not care about what's happening in that environment. And it's a disservice to that person that you are still suffering after they are gone. What they wish for you from that side is that you are happy.
How do you know that?
No, I'm just telling you. I said I started doing a studying, and you know me, and I can go into deep things. So they are more concerned about how you move on. There are people who have, I don't know, there's this show, the Long Island Medium, where they talk to the dead, and you realize that, move on. They will tell you that, move on. Why are you still crying over this? I'm gone. Be happy. I want you to be happy. So with my understanding of that, I was telling my husband, I said, if I know that I'm going to go before you, I will find a good chick.
Well, if you don't know.
Take care of, no, I'm just saying that I will take care of you when I'm gone, because you are such a good man. I don't want you to suffer one day. And he found it very bizarre. So you're telling me that everything we shared, I should not mourn you for like 5 years. I'm like, no, I don't want you to mourn me. I've moved on. So find someone to make you happy and take care of my kids.
Find your friend.
No, if I'm gone, I'm gone. That's the
so
truth.
you don't mind.
But I want the friend to be a good friend. So I know my friends, a good person. So I know my friends already. I know the one.
Would you nominate to marry your husband?
We are married. All of us are married. You don't marry your husband for you. See, the challenge for me.
It's easy to say, I'm dead.
I know.
You look around your friends now. Say, I have you.
I have a friend I can say yes.
I have many
I have
that
one. Yes, I have.
they move on so easily. In this day and age, especially for the men, once the woman dies, it don't less than 3 months, you start saying, somebody take care of the children, somebody to do this one, somebody to do that one. I feel like there should be process of grieving. We permit men to just quickly move on. So I feel, and another thing is, thinking about it now, imagine a woman that is sick, she already be permutating that maybe he's going to marry this one, maybe he's going to marry that one. It shouldn't be on the table. The point is, your wife just moved on. The woman that is coming to help you take care of your children should have no extra thoughts in her head. Many people do. They come into that house, cook for you because they are hoping they will take over.
That's a different scenario.
That one is a different scenario.
If it evolves out of close, we've been around each other and all of that, and then we fight it, you know, we watch movies.
Yeah.
Oh, we fight it for months. But in real life, we see them be married so fast.
Let me take this call from Yakub. Good morning, Yakub. Yakub, are you there?
Let's hear Yakub.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning to you all. Morayo, once again, God Almighty will bless you. You know why? Why? Because you have a very co-host there that they are very, very fantastic. They are very so intelligent. That is why in every topic, all of them, they are written individual, and then their written is not the same. Look at every time Miriam makes his own submission to any topic, I always like topic and motion. Because, you see, let's just take a look at this. Somebody has gone. Quite all right. Would you like your husband to go and marry somebody else that come inside the house and maltreat your children? Treat your children badly. If, before you look at about you just rightly said earlier, God forbid, he said something very, very fantastic. If someone know that I'm going to go before you, may God Almighty Allah stay alive with you, live longer. Amen. And then he said that she's going to find a very good and very fantastic chick for her husband.
Take care of him.
You know?
He's a good man.
So take care of him. You know why? Why? Because if you not have a very good friend that you know when you are alive, this friend of yours always come to your house, you know her very well, you know her very well.
She's decent,
I don't think you should be meant to let your husband
She's
marry
lovely.
to that
She can cook.
Rather than go and marry into that somewhere, somebody that is so very bad. So come into the house, maltreat your children, send your children out of the house. So I don't think anything bad in that.
Okay,
May I
Yakub, your own wife,
Let
Yakub, if you, by the grace of God, you will live long.
Yes.
If you pass on, would you like your wives to pick one of your friends and become second wife, third wife to different all your friends? Would you like that?
Yes?
May I quickly jump on what you just said? I realized that, see, this is reality now, and by statistics, that men are not psychologically and emotionally as strong as women. That's how they have been made, yes. Physical strength, they have more than us. Emotional strength, we have more than them. Hold on, it's not permissive, it's not permissive. Because I have compared men who lost their wives, and they were not able to remarry for whatever reason. It doesn't take time for them to die. It doesn't. Yes.
You started,
I'm telling you now. I'm not talking about young people, I'm not talking about young people.
I know a man.
From the 50s, I'm just telling you. And I had a friend who was telling me that if they had known what they knew, is it not a very, somebody that works here in the office, we were having a conversation in the makeup room, and she said he would have, you know, she would have advised her father to remarry because it was a serious stress on him, raising them alone without a woman. On the contrary,
I know a man who lost his wife, I think in the 80s. He raised his 5 children himself.
He's a professor.
And today, he's still single. He didn't get married. So the point I'm trying to make is that...
Flip it. Okay, this is permissive when we're talking as women. Oh, I can let somebody take care of my husband. But how many men would say, when I go, let somebody take good care in the other room? They
don't like it. Does not mean it will not happen.
No. It is not even allowed. The society frowns on it.
Why no?
So why are we partial to women? Women should suffer with 5 children. They will raise those children by themselves.
That's a different topic. That's a different thing.
Let me go on a break. I'll be right back.
That's a different topic.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right, so there's some other angles to this story. So that is it possible that the man actually instigated or orchestrated his wife's death just so that he can get to the friend?
This was an investigation now.
So there are other, I see, but the point is that people are saying, is it possible that that man he actually had his eye on the friend? Anything can happen. So the point is that if you're going to move on after your wife's death, move on elsewhere. Find somebody else who is perfect for you. Does it have to be your friend's circle? Because you're your wife's your ex-wife, your former wife's circle.
No, I think the problem is we're giving the society so much strength over our lives and how we live our lives. It works differently from everybody. We are all different. Yeah. I may find solace in someone that is close to me, someone I know already, someone I have a story with already. This is my wife's friend. We go out together. She comes once in a while. I already can tell that she's a good person. I may also not want somebody that close because of what people will say and decide to go outside. Let's not give society the room to tell us how to live our lives. The first thing is he happy with her? That's one. Is she able to take care of him and take care of the children? That's another one. Is she happy in that relationship? Somebody that has died has died. Why are we bothered about the death?
Okay, all right, so may we not be faced with that choice.
It doesn't matter.
May we never be faced.
If I know, I will get a chick for my husband if I
don't get a chick. Find your friend for your husband. What was that going to say?
Okay, yes, now I have somebody here now on this table.
Oh, yeah, talk what you can handle.
No, it's not talk, it's Nima I like.
It's Nima.
Hey, don't look at me.
Oh, Nima, can you hear them?
I think that it was, I'm dramatizing, I'm over-dramatizing the situation, but in real terms, if we have a situation where one spouse dies, focus should be on what would be the best for the child. It's just that that has become an excuse.
The spouse, Sonko.
If a spouse dies, focus should be on what's best for the child.
The spouse, Sonko.
At every point in time, because the children are innocent and the children are, especially they're in the informative stage. But we mustn't use it as an excuse to do what we really want to do.
If they're adults,
comes to our house, Auntie Tokwe, hi, you know, Auntie Tokwe keeps coming and if the kids are adults,
if the kids are adults, they are grown.
Okay, let me take this call.
Man should take care of himself.
Let me take this call.
You should not remarry. You should just take care.
Good morning, Danjuma. Are you there?
Good morning, my people.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, please. I'm a first-time caller. And foremost, I am from the northern part of Nigeria.
Okay.
You know what is implied. I'm from the rare breed of the Christian folks of the northern part of Nigeria.
Okay.
I lost my mom at the tender age.
Okay.
It will be 20 years in no time in this year. And my dad decided not to get married. We have 5 kids, decided not to get married, boys and girls.
Okay.
Fast forward to 3 years down the line, we nearly lost him.
My brother.
Sincerely. We nearly lost him. He fell ill, and it was very, very terrible. We nearly lost him. And we all came together and were like, Dad, you have to get married.
Yes.
And I tell him oftentimes that he's one of the most favored men in life. To have gotten married twice and gotten it right.
Oh, I'm so happy.
That's why.
Yes.
Bless him.
I have one of the best women as my stepmom.
Oh,
that's
I love
sweet.
stories like this.
Yes, please. And by the grace of God, she was unmarried before she married my dad.
Why?
Was she your late mom's friend in any way? I think that's the real
We never
question.
knew each other from Adam.
So we
Would
all
it have
support that
mattered?
kind of love story.
Would it have mattered?
Would it have mattered to you if it was your mother's ex-friend?
Best friend, at the age, my mom died at 55.
Okay.
Very young.
So I wouldn't know who is her best friend that is not
that
happily
time.
married or have their own
Thank you,
family.
Danjuma. So we like Danjuma's story, definitely. But just the question
Someone
is...
sent me a story
Yes.
about something that happened in Anambra State. Said that the woman passed on, and 18 months later, the man went to pay dowry for the woman's younger sister who had lived with them all through the marriage.
And he liked her.
Bros, I suspect you. You see, we've seen many cases of married men.
he likes the family.
Yeah, no, we've seen many cases of married men that are, doing the other room things with their friend, their wife's friend, even while married. We've seen cases where they are doing wife and younger sister before married because of all these fishy things. Carry your love too far. I'm not saying you should not marry, but don't marry my friend because he's suspicious. Don't marry my sibling, he's suspicious. Let's love after you mourn.
The man may just want to remain in the family because the family is good. It's possible.
What are you saying?
Oh, it's possible.
See, what is important, and that's why we always, I think we make mistakes and we put all sorts of rules and regulations for people, and people are unable to make, to make the decision that's best for them. So, is the person good? Is the person kind? I say it, I'm like a broken record. Is the person kind? Does the person love you? Does the person love your children?
Is the only kind of person in the world?
No, that is more important than all this. So we now have to sit down and look at, please don't marry this person because she's related to this person and that person has known this person. Or down the line, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, we said hi to each other, so we have seen each other. These are just too many things that make it difficult for people to find real love and be with the people that really, really should be in their lives.
You deserve chocolate, Miriam.
Chocolate. I don't want sugar-free, please. Sugar-free chocolate.
For these things.
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be ethical boundaries? Because
like the broad bro code.
You shouldn't, do you think it's right for somebody to date your husband, to date your sister after
Let me tell you where the boundaries should. If I am married to my husband and I'm alive,
and you are trespassing.
Those are the
codes. Once you're dead,
but you're gone.
You're all
really
better off.
See, I've seen a situation where someone was on. She was doing a video. She had cancer and she was dying, and she was saying that all the things that she thought were important are no longer important. The things that are important are how will my children live from now on. So she's writing a book on the steps her child. Do you understand the sort of comfort it would give her if she sort of knew
the person
I had the conversation
and take care of her child. With somebody yesterday, and the person was talking about the fact that the family lost an opportunity. The family was told that somebody was going to die, and he would have liked the family to take that opportunity to have the final conversations. But unfortunately, the family was still believing, God must heal you, unfortunately, so that you're saying that it's great to have those final moments.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky to have the final moments, and then you can say, okay, who can remarry my husband? Who's going to raise my children? Who's going to those are things, conversation we can have at the dying bed. Okay, unfortunately, we have to close up on this. I think I have one call. Let me take a final call. Good morning, are you there? Do I have a call?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Lucy.
Good morning.
Go ahead, please. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, everyone.
We can hear you.
Go ahead, you're live.
Okay. Hi, long time for years. I can't get you people. I finally got you today.
Thank you for joining the show.
Good morning, Sister Mariah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lucy.
Okay. Please, for long, I used to watch the repeat broadcast, but I've not been.
Lucy.
The repeat now is on YouTube. Anytime.
Yeah, just watch it on YouTube. Now, we have to move on to another topic because this one was really interesting also. Social media is buzzing with the recent tweet of director of Cubana Group, Pascal Chibuike Okechukwu. He cried out over an alleged nonchalant attitude of his family members in towing the lane of financial independence. According to him, is it a crime to be a successful family member? Henceforth, my family will get nothing from me except they reciprocate what I give them. He is not happy about it. You can join the conversation after this break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Right, so Cubana, Ogachijoke Okechukwu, is saying that his family member should leave him alone. Is he the first person to be successful in his family? What is your problem, Seth? But when you, I mean, just using him as a case study, because obviously we hear of these stories that once you get successful, all eyes are on you, family comes to you, they just automatically feel that you have the solution to everybody's problem, forgetting that you're trying to grow a business. Yes, Cubana looks like it's there, but he is growing a business. So what are your thoughts when you saw this tweet? What came to mind?
I really like this topic because years ago I watched a particular program and they were talking about what happens when you have like one member of the family who is quite wealthy. And then you're surrounded by others who are not as wealthy or probably even poor, especially with African families. Most of us, there's a name that they call it, but I don't remember now. So most people from African homes sometimes are the only one who have sort of fought through the poverty and have made it. And usually they stay poor because they still have to, it's sort of like a tax. They still have to pay back to everyone that helped them, you know, to grow. And because of that, they never have enough, you know, to become bigger than they have, you know, that they can be. So what this person was advising is that when you have someone like that in the family, you can't go for them for every tiny problem. So you leave them for the big issues, like a medical situation and you need to raise a lot of money. Those are the sort of things you go to them for. But when you keep going at that thing, you're draining it little by little. Depleting little by little. Then there's never really enough for everyone. But everyone, you should understand, okay, this is where we are, this is what we can afford, and live within your means. But then when big, important things happen, you need a loan to take a child to school. Medical situation has come up. You know, those are the sort of things that you should go and meet that one person for. Because in a very short time, that person will have nothing, and everybody will be back to square one.
In addition to Miriam, you also should not be an entitled person when you're meeting this particular person. So I was, you know, following up on Oprah one time, and she talked about learning boundaries, you know, learning how to say no and not feeling bad about it. That it took her a long time because when she got her job, she was on TV, she was making money, everybody, they announced how much she was making a year, and everybody just decided that Oprah would solve their problem. And then she kept getting demands and demands and demands, and she didn't know where to, you know, draw the line or how to say no till she was able to find that authentic power. So it's not about coming to social media to talk about this. It's about the fact that you have to know what you can handle and know how to say no. I feel offended sometimes when I hear people who tell you, I can't say no, I can't say, I'll be hurting them. Because this has happened in my family, and I have seen it growing up, where they kept depleting and depleting and depleting, and when everything finished, when it was now time for the man to raise his own children, everybody he sent abroad, they've abandoned him, they've run away, he's now eating from hand to mouth, just to be able to survive. And this was somebody who had many cars, many houses in Lagos, as I speak. So it's not about you being a selfish person. It's about knowing that this is my level for the month. This is what I will do for family for the month. If I exceed this, I'm sorry, I may not be able to help you because my money is tied down to this project and that project.
Let me come to Soko. What are your thoughts when you heard the story?
I feel that we are blessed to be a blessing. The reason God brings resources your way is because he knows you can handle it. Now, there are money misroads around that. You got money illegally or whatever it is. But largely, you are blessed to be a blessing. And we shouldn't begin to see people that come to us as parasitic. Rather, for every time you have opportunity to meet people, develop a mindset of building people. So if you have friends and relatives that are parasitic in your life, that are lynching, that they are just consuming from you, decide to build them and help them make wealth. Because if they understand your life and your journey and how you've gotten where you are, except you did not get it legally, if you worked for your money, you will teach them the same principles, they can achieve it. Success is
many people don't want to learn.
They don't learn the principles.
And there are angles to helping people. And a lot of times we just, this kind of story is excuse. Is excuse of someone that does not really want to help build people
disagree.
up. People set up businesses and put managers in place and say, supervise what is going on there, let it work.
Bring down the business.
People will say, oh, I'll buy you hire purchase car, make money from this car, and let's have take care of you. You help people. You give them employment.
Okay.
Work here.
I'm
saying that
hang in there.
when you see this particular guy on Instagram is first class. I'm not saying it's wrong. Live your life. But don't complain about people that come to you, because the truth is, we have lots of money in this country, concentrated in the hands of a few that live lavish, and Nigeria has the highest number of extremely poor people in the world. So people that have money should not complain about giving help. Whichever way you can. Don't say, oh, they are coming to
but I see some people have complained, right, that when they have this kind of businesses or empires, they try to bring in family, and the moment you open your doors to family to help to manage your business, that business is dead. So there are instances like that where that kind of man is, okay, you push him to help family, but the moment he opens his doors to family, that is when,
for me,
they begin to decline.
He could come out to complain, he must have helped. He must have given. They must have collected and collected and collected. Have you not seen family members that you try to build them? You send them to schools. You put them in, organizations to work. But because they have the mentality that you are always there to settle them, they do not concentrate. They are not ready to make something out of themselves. Back in the East, we've had, it's something that the whites are learning how it's done. Yeah, they lift their people up. Yes, you go to a city, you start building your business, you bring people from your family, from your villages. They do that. Those ones who continue are because they have people who are willing to learn and stand on their own, so they establish them. For this man, and he's an Igbo guy, to come out and complain like this, he must have tried. But then he realized that these people do not have the mindset to work and build. I've never seen any rich man who doesn't give. They give.
Exactly.
No, I'm not talking about the money misroad kind of people. They give you in the right way. They want you to be able to stand on your own feet. You can't be meeting me to be giving you fish all the time.
Good morning, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so this conversation you're having is a good one.
Yeah.
My dad, growing up, he was like the shining star in his family and raised a lot of people. He sent people abroad, paid school fees, did everything, got jobs, at the detriment of his own family. So when it was time for his children to get help from some of us, because money can't remain the same way.
Yeah.
Every time. You cannot be rich from morning till evening. So in the afternoon of his life, he fell ill and we needed help. Not one of these people showed up for us.
Are you telling me?
Not one. We had to do everything ourselves. By God's grace, all 9 of us, 9 children, are graduates today. Some have doctorate degrees, doing very well.
That's good.
And those people are back again. Their children are back.
Before?
Their children are back asking us for help. And we are paying school fees of these children now.
When I don't start again.
Thank you very much for Antonia for that comment. Go ahead.
So I think there's this culture we have in Nigeria, which is you are made to feel guilty even when you cannot help.
Yeah.
So it's not just about when you have, even when you do not have enough, they expect you cannot be the one that is married to this sort of person. And you say you cannot meet all our needs. Do you understand? And so you would even go as far as getting loans or borrowing to meet the expectations of people. And we're unable to grow wealth that would sustain us through generations because we are depleting it through giving and we're giving it the wrong way.
Yes.
We need to learn, first of all, people need to learn to, see, I have a friend who is very wealthy, but I do not want to collect money from her. I don't ever want to collect things from her. I just want her to teach me the way.
So that you can make your own money.
For me, I feel...
Some friends don't want to teach you.
Yeah, if my friend truly cares about me, this is what I would prefer for her to do for me, instead of to give me,
well, you see,
you know.
There's a book I read many years ago about a basketballer. When they signed him up for NBA, he came from the ghetto. And the moment he got signed up, he started earning some salary and some money. And everybody in the community started coming to him for issues. His father literally lifted him away. I need to move you away.
From far away from
far away.
So there's
just because to ensure that
is also poor. That means if you are rich amongst poor people,
you're just as poor.
Yes,
you're
back.
You're right. I say that.
Stay with us, right back.
You're as rich as...
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Yeah. Thanks for staying with us. As we wrap up on this, let me talk through in a few points.
I want to say that for anybody watching, don't have a sense of entitlement to the money of your relative. Nobody should feel like, don't live your life based on your brother, your uncle's income, or what they have. Your goal should be, I want to build my wealth, I want to grow. And if we have that mindset, when you work with your relatives and they don't help you, understand that if Yoruba says, Ajumobi on Costa, that means it's not your relative that will help you. Anybody God sends to you will help you. But if you have money and you are feeling bad about helping your relative because you think they are lazy, then please, God has blessed you to be a blessing. That's nice.
Especially when they are lazy, that we're on you, people automatically assume that we have. Because we're on TV. So people start coming to us for, I want to pay my child's school.
And then when you're unable to, it's like...
I said, listen, my child's school fees is being paid by my husband. I'm happy about it. Trust me. I wish I could pay it. I can't afford it. You know? So we all have issues, but people always assume that once you own a club, a nightclub,
the entitlement mentality, which
you
is
must
wrong.
do for us.
Must, like, put that one down. No entitlement.
So we have some tweets. T-Girl says, family in business have a self-entitlement mentality, hence they ruin your business. Set them up in their own and employ strangers that you can hire and fire if they are not productive. Kint L. Afrik says, good morning, ladies. The hearts of men have grown cold and all they want is to use you. I was sponsoring someone who was always broke, only for me to find out that she bought land somewhere. Meanwhile, I spent my salary feeding her for years.
And he says, you are not helping them to help you back when things go bad for you. If the world was fair, they would, but it's not. That's why you must take care of yourself even as you care for others.
Very true.
Then Tiger says, depending on the most successful one, and he spoke Yoruba here. I'm sorry, I'm not going to read this.
For me, the last tweet balanced it. In that you do good for others, but you take care of yourself too. Plan yourself.
How much money is this money saved? I mean, sometimes you have money, you are made. How much is this money? Do you have money like Dangote? What kind of money are we looking for?
It's always good to give whatever you have.
Because people assume you have a lot of money.
Do you know what I even realized? That most of these people are not content with any amount you give to them.
Exactly.
They always feel you have more.
You
have more.
Haven't you
I just begged for 50,000 and she could not give me. You don't even know if I'm looking for that 50,000 to pay my rent. You don't even know.
When someone will be telling you, do you know it was only 20?
Only 20.
They'll be telling you about someone else.
For example, somebody saying, oh, he's flashy online. Maybe he's flashy because that's his business. That's the line of business. You have to be flashy. You have to come across as you have wealth. You have that wealth. Maybe he doesn't have that real wealth. And he's there. So and the little he has, he's helping. So they should allow the man to be. Let him run his business and grow his business. Family members, go and find your own. On that note, we end the show. I hope you have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.